Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're comparing the Toyota Land Cruiser to the 4Runner Trailhunter to see which $70,000 Toyota SUV is best. Before we get into this video, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Orem Toyota for giving us some time with the Trailhunter. Link to their website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide too. Let's get into it. Powering the Land Cruiser is a turbo 2.4 liter 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed and a hybrid. It puts out 326 horsepower and then 465 pound-feet of torque, and fuel economy you're supposed to be able to average in the low 20s. Now the 4Runner has the exact same powertrain, similar fuel economy, but it does produce a little bit less horsepower because of the raised air intake. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's completely free and it helps out the channel a massive amount. The Land Cruiser is a lot boxier. You can see the upright windshield and then the very squared off hood. Whereas the 4Runner windshield is a lot more sloped. The hood is still pretty boxy though in the 4Runner. The Land Cruiser can be had with either circular or rectangular headlights. Whereas with the 4Runner, they only have these angular headlights. They've got color changing rigid fog lights with the Land Cruiser. The 4Runner has color changing rigid fog lights as well as a light bar. The Land Cruiser has an aggressive approach angle, skid plate protection and recovery points, and the 4Runner has all of the same kit. So what you basically have here so far is similar equipment, different looks though. Now this 4Runner has these stock tires and wheels, 265 by 70 by 18. My Land Cruiser has aftermarket wheels, but the tire and wheel size is the same if you have the stock set up on the Land Cruiser. But the 4Runner definitely has more aggressive tires from the factory compared to the stock tires with the Land Cruiser. Speaking of aggressive, look at the fenders and fender flares of the Land Cruiser versus the 4Runner. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the Land Cruiser definitely looks cool and boxy, but the 4Runner definitely has a much more beefed up look, especially with the massive fender flares. Both the 4Runner and the Land Cruiser are equipped with rock rails, and the roof racks are actually very similar, but the 4Runner has an ARB roof rack, whereas the Land Cruiser has the Toyota roof rack. Now the Land Cruiser has fixed unbranded shocks, whereas the 4Runner has the old man emu. Now my 2 cents on the suspension system, having driven both of them, is that they both actually perform very similarly and they're both durable systems, and so you can't really go wrong either way. Now the cargo area of the Land Cruiser has a slight downside, and that is the hybrid battery. It does get an upgraded outlet, and overall space back here is actually pretty solid. Now the Trailhunter is not winning in this competition because it has the same battery problem, but just like the Land Cruiser, it's got an upgraded outlet in the back. Now the rear glass in the Land Cruiser, as you can see, is manual for the opening operation. Whereas with the 4Runner, I've got these little buttons that I can press to open up the window via power. Now when it comes to rear style, other than the bumper and more specifically the diaper looking receiver hitch, the Land Cruiser has a pretty cool design. And the 4Runner has that kind of traditional 4Runner look with updated taillights and all of that, and so it also looks good. And the hitch setup looks really good compared to whatever the heck that is. Now the door panel on the back of the Land Cruiser has really nice materials, and the seats are also really premium feeling too. Legroom back here is good. We got a little storage pocket. We actually have our own climate zone in the rear. We also have some USB ports. And with that boxy design, headroom's pretty good. Also, there's vents up top in this. Now, although not as fancy with the design, the materials are actually really nice on the door panel with the Trailhunter. And these seats have more of like a rugged type look and feel to them. Now this front seat's pushed back a little bit further. Overall space is similar, and as you can see, we don't have our own climate zone in the back, but we do have vents down below and an upgraded outlet. And there is a little bit less headroom back here, so I will give the win to the Land Cruiser when it comes to the backseat area. Now the front door panel of the Land Cruiser again has really nice materials. We have memory seats, the mirrors power fold in, and we've got blind spot monitoring. Payload capacity is 1,100 pounds with the Land Cruiser. And again, the front seats have very nice trim. They are also power adjustable with lumbar support. Steering wheel is power adjustable. We also have an opening for the rear hatch, your gas cap release, trailer brake controls, and to turn on the outlet. 4Runner continues the theme of rugged materials here on the front door panel. Feature-wise, it's the same as Land Cruiser. You've got blind spot monitoring, you've got memory seats. We also have power folding mirrors. Less payload capacity at 895 pounds though. And then these front seats have that same cool trim. They also have power adjustments and lumbar support. Now a lot of carryovers in terms of features in this area, but we also have 4 auxiliary switches. We've got that turn on the light bar, and then also for the fog lights. Well, let's start up the Land Cruiser now. Very nice steering wheel with soft touch trim all around. Notice the finish on the buttons here. We also have adaptive cruise control with lane centering, and then we've got our volume and voice command controls on the other side. Customizable full digital gauge cluster here in the center. We've got this nice 360 camera system in reverse. The infotainment system has a shortcut bar there on the side, and it's also quick to respond as you go through the different tabs. We have heated and ventilated seats. We've got dual zone climate up front as well. And again, soft touch on the dash and then nice trim down below that. This comes with on-road drive modes, multi-terrain select, and Toyota's crawl control system. It also has a full-time four-wheel drive system with a center and a rear locking diff, as well as a stabilizer bar disconnect. wireless phone charging pad, and the center console is also a refrigerator with the Land Cruiser. Camera rear view mirror, and then we do have a sunroof. And now let's start up the 4Runner. So as you can see, the 4Runner steering wheel is definitely a bit chunkier and kind of more rugged looking in general. And even the buttons on the steering wheel kind of have a chunkier, more rugged look. Now this has the exact same digital gauge cluster that's just as customizable as the Land Cruiser. This also comes with the same 360 camera system, but the infotainment system itself is a lot larger even though the functionality is the same. And the dash has less soft touch trim, but still a cool design. Now just like the Land Cruiser, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate up front, but again, chunky rugged buttons. Got a little wireless phone charging pad. Now this does have on-road drive modes as well as the multi-terrain select system and the crawl control, but you notice this has a part-time 4-wheel drive system instead of a full-time. However, it does still come with a rear locking differential and a stabilizer bar disconnect. And although the center console is nice, it is not a refrigerator like the Land Cruiser. We do get a camera rear view mirror and no sunroof with the Trailhunter, but again, the power sliding rear window. Now this Trailhunter has equipped stickers for about $70,000. And if you get a Land Cruiser with the premium package and the off-road options, you're looking at a little bit more money, $72,000, $73,000. So that does mean that the Land Cruiser is more money for similar equipment when you compare it spec to spec with the 4Runner. So the way that I see it, the Land Cruiser gives you a more premium interior, as well as that distinctive retro boxy styling. And the full-time 4-wheel drive system with all the off-road kit, you can either get one or the other with the new 4Runner, you can't have both. Whereas the 4Runner with the tire and wheel setup with the raised air intake, the roof rack, and the rock rails at a lower price point gives you more off-road kit for less money. And so looks aside, if you just look at equipment, the Land Cruiser is going to make more sense if you're going to use the 4-wheel drive system more often while you're driving on road. But if you want the best bang for your buck when it comes to off-road packaging, the 4Runner Trailhunter is going to provide that. So in conclusion, although these vehicles have the same powertrain, are on the same platform with the same wheelbase, and just share a lot of stuff in general, they are different enough to make it so that one will be more valuable to some of you and the other will be more valuable to others. Are you team Land Cruiser or 4Runner?